In this corner, we have the Benefit Brow Microfilling Eyebrow Pen weighing in at 0.02 ounces. And in this corner, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Micro Stroking Detailing Brow Pen weighing in at 0.017 ounces. They both have ridiculously long names, but which one will become champion and win this battle of the brow pens?
Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today we're obviously going to be talking about brow pens. Now, if we haven't met, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on YouTube, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, then don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Now, I have really been into brow pens recently. Now, I, like many of us, have shifted my aesthetic as far as brow goes in the last couple years from something that was very sculpted and perfect into something just a little bit more, I would say, feathery and fluffy, something that's not quite as like carved out. So I've been on the journey to find the perfect products to get me there. I do already have a couple favorites, but right now everybody seems to be launching brow pens. Now, since both of these products launched around the same time, I thought it would be good to compare them to each other. I do also have a couple others that I'm going to mention in this video, but I thought that, you know, if you've been looking at the new makeup releases and you were thinking about getting one of these, I have used both of them quite a bit now. So I thought I'd give you my opinion on these, kind of break down the pros and cons to you, and again, compare them to the other brow pens that I've used. Now, I will be inserting clips of me using these so that you can see them in action. So if you would like to know a little bit more about these brow pens, let's get right into it. All right, so first off, let's start with the brow microfilling pen from Benefit. This has a felt tip with 3 little prongs to it. If you guys can see there, I will do a couple little strokes here for you. Now, I will say I got this online during the Sephora sale. I have the shade light brown. I actually wanted the medium brown, but by the time I got around to it, of course, medium brown was already out of stock. So now this is a little too light for me. I'm not even sure if you guys will be able to see that on my hand. I would say that medium brown would have been a better shade for me. However, with something like this where there's a bit of a learning curve, a little bit lighter shade might be nice. Now, one product that I do have to sort of compare this to, if you will, is the Etude House Tint My 4-Tip Brow. It's very similar. However, this one has 4 tips, but they are not at an angle like the Benefit one is. And that could definitely come in handy when you're looking for a little bit more of a natural effect. Now, if you'd like to see this one in action, I will go ahead and link my full face of my most affordable makeup because I did use it in that one. And again, like I said, I'll just zoom you guys in on a clip of these when I'm done, but this one is a bit darker. I will say that I found that this Benefit one did apply a little bit easier, and I'll go ahead and insert the clip of me using this while I'm talking about this. Because it does have those 3 prongs at an angle, it doesn't go through and give you quite as much of like that raked sand effect, you know, like those 3 little lines, if you will. I still find that, especially because this formula, I don't know if it's just that the color is lighter or if this formula is actually more sheer. It's almost like if you don't do it enough, it doesn't show up as much, but if you do it too much, then you just look like you have like scratched on brows, if that makes sense. So I do think that there is still a learning curve to this one. I've used it a few times now, but I just find that it's not my favorite. Now, Benefit has put this at $25 and it has 0.02 ounces. Now, if you've watched my channel at all, you'll know I really do like to pay attention to how much product actually comes in a package because that really shows you what kind of value you're getting for your dollar. So I would say I would grade this at like a B. It is definitely easier to use than the Etude House pen, but it still has quite a learning curve, and I think I'd really have to get the darker shade to know for sure whether the formula is just more sheer or if it's just that I got a lighter shade. But to me, it definitely looks like it packs less pigment punch, which might be a great option for those of you that, you know, are just looking for a light definition, but for me, I was just looking for a little bit more pigment. I do also find, even if you look at it compared to the Etude House one, you know how sometimes when you put on a liquid eyeliner and it almost like bleeds out into the skin around it? I feel like this pen does that. So those fine hair strokes that you're looking for really become a little bit larger and more blurred. So I like something that's a little bit more crisp just for that like hair-like effect. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Anastasia Beverly Hills Micro Stroking Detailing Brow Pen. Whew, that's a mouthful. This one comes in at $22 for 0.017 ounces of product. So they are very similar in product amount, and this one is a couple dollars cheaper. Now, I was really interested in this product because it has a brush tip, very similar to a lot of brush tip liners. And I will say that the tip on this is very fine. I'll go ahead and put it next to the Etude House one. Now, obviously with this, the more pressure you use, the bigger line and the bigger stroke that you'll get. So you can vary this. So this does take a little bit of practice to know just how much pressure you need to be putting on as you're going through and doing the strokes. I find that this is a great shade for me. This is the shade medium brown. I was really kind of struggling on which one to get. So I was really torn between the medium brown and the soft brown, and I have used both of those Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade shades. So I was sort of like teetering. This is definitely on the little bit darker side, but it is much closer to my actual hair color, like the color of my brows, but I could also see having a soft brown when I'm looking for a slightly softer, lighter effect. But I do enjoy this one. I will be curious to see how it lasts and if it dries out very fast. That is the one thing about this that, you know, could be interesting, because I find that sometimes pens like this do dry out a little bit. Now, as far as the product performance, I actually would say I give this an A. I have found that the brush has stayed really nice and sharp. I haven't had any issues with that. The color has gone on perfectly. It wears very well throughout the day. The only thing about this is it is so much more expensive than the one that I currently have as like my all-time favorite. Now, if you guys have seen any of my favorites videos, or you've seen me talk about this, this is the Ardell Stroke-A-Brow Feathering Pen. And this product is only $7.99 at Ulta, and you get almost the same exact amount of product. Let me see here. Oh no, you actually get twice the amount. You get 0.04 ounces of product in here. So they do have very similar brush heads. Now this is a little bit of an older pen, so it does have a couple like errant hairs. Now let me show you guys side by side here. I would say that they are very similar, and the Ardell one, like I said, is $7.99 for twice as much, and this one is $22. Now the one thing that I will say about the Ardell one, I'm not sure if I just used the heck out of it or if it does dry up a little bit faster, because that was one thing that I found is I was surprised at how long it lasted. Now, when you think you're only putting on like little tiny strokes, you wouldn't think that you'd use that much product, but I was surprised that these pens haven't lasted me longer than they do. And I did find that when I went to use a different shade, because I have like 3 or 4 of the shades, and I went to pull it out, the tip was like completely dry and crusty. Now it had been a while since I'd used it because I've been trying all these other brow products. Now I personally like to keep brow pens and liquid liner pens in a cup. I actually just have them in a brush cup with the tip pointing down so that that doesn't dry out. I just find that that really helps keep the moisture down into the brush tip so that they don't dry out and they don't like get really crispy. But I did find that a couple of these had completely dried out. So if this one really lasts a lot longer, even though it has less product, that might be worth some value. But again, for $7.99, this is still my favorite. So for me, this Ardell Stroke-A-Brow is still the reigning champion, and the Anastasia comes in as a second place winner. Now, one product that I want to also talk to you guys about that I don't have on hand right now because I just had to chuck it in the garbage is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. Now, I'll go ahead and just pop a picture of that up here. Now, the thing about this is it's a pencil on one side and then a brush tip pen on the other side. I really did enjoy this product. I actually, found that it was kind of nice to have a pencil and a pen, just depending on how you like to fill in your brow. However, there isn't a lot of product in that pencil. I actually used the pencil up before the pen, and I thought it would be the other way around, but also, like I said, was keeping it in my cup with the brush tip down, and just 2 days ago, I went to use it to sort of like refresh my memory to talk to you guys about it in this video. And I was wearing, of course, a top that was like lighter colored like this, and I went like this, and all of the liquid had seeped out of the pen into the cap, and like brow color went everywhere. So that angered me, and it went right into the garbage, of course. So for me, the fact that I felt like I went through that brow pencil really quickly, and then the fact that it like leaked all over are 2 reasons that I won't be getting that one again. It was okay, and maybe if you do like to have the option of having both, or if it's a good travel option for you, that would be another one to look into. But for me right now, I'm gonna be sticking to these 2. I will keep using the Benefit one as well. Like I said, it could be a big part of it is that I had too light of a shade, but in all honesty, even using it in the front of my brow where I really need help getting a little bit more of a hair-like definition, that's really why I like these pen styles. It doesn't work because it's just too perfect. Like your hairs are a bit more erratic, right? They're not gonna like all, even at like an angle, they aren't all perfectly going into place like that, if that makes sense. So I will still continue to use that one, like maybe in the tails of my brow, just to help add a little bit more tonality to my hairs. But I'm definitely sticking to my Ardell. So have you guys tried that one? I've been talking about it for at least a year now here on my channel. So if you haven't tried it and you're looking for a good brow pen, I would definitely recommend that one. I will link all of the products that I've talked about today in the description box below. I'd also like to invite you to join me over on my Instagram account. That is Keep Beauty Real. It's a great place to check in to see how I'm feeling about makeup that I've purchased and been trying for a while. I really love keeping in contact with you guys. That's really the reason I built this channel, is to really chat with you guys about makeup and have a community where we all can enjoy talking about makeup and having those discussions. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you're thinking about picking up one of these. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like. It really does help me out, and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on those future videos. So I hope you guys are having a great one. I will see you really soon. In this corner, we have the Benefit Brow Microfilling Pen. In this corner, we have the Anastasia, and in this corner, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Micro Stroking Detailing Brow Pen. Micro Stroking Detailing Brow Pen. And in this corner, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Micro Stroking Detailing Brow Pen. I need to set this up somewhere. And in this corner, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Micro Stroking Detailing Brow Pen, weighing in at 0.017 ounces.